1 2 1 2. We'd like to welcome y'all all to the Stay Talking Ish podcast show. This is your host, Mr. Barksdale.
Yo, this is Gus.
You know what I'm saying? We got the homie in the building today. Introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? Senor Uno.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
He's sober this time.
Yeah,
Last time he was on the show.
151. Look at this nigga, though. You know what I'm saying? But nah, we back in the building. And last show, we definitely, was talking prior to the election just about, what we wanted to see and everything like that.
The bad guy won.
And yes, the villain won. You know what I'm saying? And, I guess we all now just sitting here dealing with the aftermath. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the worst part about ain't nobody dealing with no aftermath. It was like 3-4 days of, yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. We all going to hell. Now everybody doing the same shit they was doing the week
before he got hired. Right?
Ain't nothing changed.
Yo, man, I just, the whole shit just, it's crazy to me, like, because, people like, yo, he's showing this, like, America showing their true colors, white America showing their true colors. And I'm just like, yo, like, I just remember when Obama ran for president, right? Every denomination of people that felt marginalized all rallied behind Obama and voted for him, and record numbers, like, he won. But it was only so long before somebody was going to be able to reignite the white vote. You understand what I'm saying?
They are like over like 60% of the population, so
in America,
it's not like you can just forget about them.
Yeah, and he would do his campaigning and the way he did shit. He just reignited their vote, and you look up and they say the angry white Christian came out in numbers this year and voted for Donald Trump.
He says all the things that sometimes white people want to say but can't.
Yeah, but I don't even want to say all white people want to say but can't.
Not all white people.
I just want to say the white people that supported Trump, he said the things that they wanted to say but either can't or maybe don't even feel it's morally right to say, but they might not be in total disagreement.
Well, it's not only that. He did go out to those rural areas where white people are that lost their job, that are poor also, and promised that he was going to get them all their jobs back. So it wasn't only he was playing off of, any racial sensitivities. He did go out and promise their jobs.
But then he promised
kind of the reason is because I'm gonna kick all the
immigrants
out.
He promised to get rid of the Mexicans. He promised to get the Muslims. He promised to build a wall. And for the life of me, like, everybody talk about, all right, he the president now. We need to unite as a country. It's hard to unite as a country when he won the presidency with a platform of being divisive. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I just gotta say one thing about the wall thing, which I don't understand, and hopefully one of you guys can explain to me. We have a national border, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you ever play any type of strategy game, what do? You build a wall around your kingdom.
Yeah.
What's wrong with building a wall?
Because you're trapping your people behind the wall. So the question you ask yourself, it's almost like the gated communities in Atlanta. Like when, Senor Uno might not remember this type of music, but you remember the music when Goody Mob was going and they did the song Cell Therapy. And CeeLo Green, one of his classic lines ever. He said, but every now and then I wonder if that gate was put up to keep crime out or keep our ass in. You understand what I'm saying? So now the question you're asking yourself is, you putting up this wall saying you want to keep the Mexicans out, but are you really putting up this wall saying you want to keep Americans trapped in America in case some shit ever go wild? And you live in Texas, Louisiana, those little areas down there.
Or those border states.
Yeah. You can't roll.
Well, you answered my question.
I didn't see it from the angle. That's the angle I see it from. So if I'm put like if you think about the kingdoms back in the day, and I don't know how true it is, we don't never know if King Arthur even ever existed, but Camelot didn't have a wall around Camelot. You could come and go in Camelot as you saw fit. And if you came to Camelot and you wanted some smoke, you was gonna get your ass bust either way. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they ain't putting no wall up. And a lot of those kingdoms where they put them walls up, when people came to take over those kingdoms, the people that was in those kingdoms, they all died because they were trapped in the kingdom. I don't want to be trapped. I'm sorry. I don't want to be trapped. That's why I'm single.
That whole concept of war, it honestly just blows my mind. It's not. I just don't think it's ethical, to say the truth.
From what standpoint?
From a logic standpoint, how are you gonna? We like you just stated before. We already have border control, but for us to say, yeah, we're gonna put up a wall so other people won't get in, but then it's okay for citizens of the United States, who are citizens, yes, we can leave the country via passport and still come back freely, go as we please, and come back as we please. But I don't think the wall is. To agree with Ish, I don't think the wall is honestly for like just illegal immigrants. I really don't. I really do not. It serves a larger purpose.
I think so too. I think it's a larger purpose. If he had the power to chase all the Muslims out of America, if he had that power, I don't think his intent with those statements had anything to do with being ethical. But if it was a morsel of ethical prowess behind it, it would be 1,000,000,000% unethical to be like, well, all right, your name is Sharif, and I don't believe that you're Christian. Your mother named you Sharif. I believe that you're Muslim. You got to roll.
Yeah, I mean, that's
the majority of the blacks in America will get put out just off of your name.
Yeah, I mean, I do find it sad because I was actually having a discussion with someone. They say he was talking about Muslims that didn't live in the country that came from those terrorist nations or whatever they want to call them. But there are people in those countries that happen to be Christian. And it bothered me more that he picked out a religion rather than a country. If he said, you know what, we're not letting anybody come in that's from Turkey. Okay, I get that. But you're saying I don't want to let any Muslim people in. You know, why just pick on that? We have Christians that do horrible shit all the time.
But Gus, what about the Muslims that feel that those quote, because I'm not even going to subscribe to the word terrorist. But what about the Muslims that believe that those Muslims are acting wrong and want to leave that country before their families and their homes and their schools and their masjids are blown up with their families in it?
Because, and going off of that, you know, yeah, America's the land of the free and all that, but a lot of immigrants came over to America in the past. Granted, we didn't have those border controls maybe as prompt as we do now, but a lot of America's start was because of
people wanted religious freedom,
religious freedom from tyranny, freedom from a whole bunch of destruction that was happening. So
in their own countries,
yeah. So the start of America was based off of the lack of borders per se, that we have right now.
I mean, to tell somebody we're going to put up a border and to keep you out, and to tell people of a certain religion we're going to kick you out, goes against the whole reason why the damn Statue of Liberty is standing on Ellis Island.
So true.
Well, I mean, you have to ask, you know, was that Statue of Liberty actually, was that there for these people, these Muslim people or the people from the countries?
Well, the original,
maybe they're like, hey, maybe it's just for our Caucasian brothers, our Caucasian disenfranchised and poor.
Well, the original Statue of Liberty was a slave black woman holding a lantern. That's what the French made for us, and then they were instructed to come up with another design.
Because originally the Statue of Liberty was supposed to be placed, I believe it was in Egypt or near the Great Pyramids. Now, even although it was made in France, but it was supposed to be a gift to the United States, but it was originally supposed to be built in Egypt. Just a fun fact.
I mean, that's a great fact. So I think along the lines of what Donald Trump platform was when he ran this race. I think he ran this race off of the people that really believe like America is for white people, and if white people is doing worse than the minorities in America, then we need to make America great again.
I want to ask you a question on that. You said if white people are doing worse than minorities, but the programs that are, I guess, supposed to help minorities, more white people tend to be abusive of that program. For instance, you want to talk about welfare, you want to talk about Obamacare. I believe there are more white and more Caucasian individuals using Obamacare, using welfare than there are minorities.
I think the stereotype that, it's true that more Caucasians, white people, are on those assistance programs more than minorities. But I think the stereotype is put in place to make white people, Caucasian people feel better. That it's not them that's taking advantage of it or abusing it.
So how is Donald Trump's slogan about making America great again going to come into play when the majority of the people who use that system are pretty much look like him?
I just want to know who are you making America great again before? And I know I asked this question prior.
Still haven't gotten the answer.
Who are you making America great for? Because when it came to the white people, you told them how you was going to make America great again for them. For the Asian Americans, you didn't say how you was making America great for them. For the indigenous people, you didn't say how you was making it great for them.
For black people, what do we have to lose?
I was about to bring that up.
Absolutely nothing, right?
I mean,
what do we have to lose?
I mean, you have to. I mean, to be honest with you, other than healthcare, Obama really wasn't a big champion for black issues.
I think that Obama was a champion for poor people's issues. And whether we want to admit it or not, a lot of things he put in place that might not have been this is specifically for the African American in America. That was my best Obama voice.
That was horrible.
It sounded
it was horrible. Don't do it again.
And I say, we need change. But nah.
Yeah, work on that a little
I
bit.
know I got to work on my Obama shit. I got you, man. It's Obama. But what I'm saying is that I think that we, as a people, we benefited from a lot of the change that he made, though people will say it wasn't specifically for us. We benefited from it.
See, I think part of the problem is that I understand if you're the president and you don't want to make it seem like you're fighting for one group of people as opposed to another, because you're supposed to be the president for everyone. I get that.
States, yeah.
I appreciate that, but him as well as other people in government took the time out to fight for the LGBT community and had no qualms with saying they were doing this stuff for the gay people, for transsexuals. So it's kind of like, well, if you can take a stance with that group of people, and single out everybody who's not LGBT, why can't you do that for black people?
Well, I think that was a political move only because if we really researched some numbers on it, the LGBTQIA community probably votes at a higher rate than a lot of minority groups in America. Because I would almost assume if you're a part of that community, it's certain rights that you don't get that you're willing to place your vote every time for the candidate who's looking to make those things a reality for you. You understand what I'm saying? And so I think on a political move, Obama was like, we need to have that community attached to the Democrats all the time. The way that community was attached to his candidacy in 08 and in 12. That's my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, so him directing that to them, I think that was more of a political move. I think that A lot of things he did with Wall Street, a lot of things he did with financial infrastructure, just trying to bring things back to stimulate the economy and create jobs in the economy. When we talked about the unemployment rate in America, the employment rate in America was affecting the African American community almost more than any minority group. The fact that he got unemployment down was a direct correlation to the African American community being able to take advantage and get jobs. The African American community, if you're trying to stimulate the economy in America, you have to keep the African American population employed. Why? Because we're the consumer class. We're the people who spend money.
Let's not go there. It's very sad to think of that.
I mean, it's sad to think about. It's sad to think about it that the Caucasian American class in America as a class, not individually but as a class, they're the ones that make money and save money or accumulate wealth. You know what I'm saying? And we're the class that makes money and spends money.
I looked up some of those statistics. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at how black men with a college degree voted based off the candidates. And the question was, are you in the LGBTQ community of that specific pool, 78% voted Democratic versus the ones who didn't vote or weren't in that LGBTQ community was pretty much 50-50 versus that 78% to 14 split in favor of like Hillary, which is pretty shocking.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. You had Hillary trying to keep some things in order that Obama was moving forward with the gay marriage, and I guess like if you got gay marriage, then if you're married and you gay, then of course now you getting those marriage tax breaks and things like that.
I love marriage tax breaks.
Of course you do. You're married. You know what I'm saying? So you could understand why a gay person who's been a life partner with this woman for the majority of her life and they sharing bills and everything together, they might adopted a kid or whatever, they want those tax breaks too. It's important to them. And then just for the sake of saying this woman has your last name and you guys are really married. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was a strategic move by Obama. But I think most of all, when you're talking politics and we talking all this, like, people know who's voting and who's not. And for real, Donald Trump really cared less about the black vote. That's why he had nothing in his platform directed to us. African Americans, what do you got to lose? Poor rural white people who haven't been voting in years. I'm going to make America great for you again. Vote for me. And they came out in numbers and voted.
Well, I think one good thing is that we see Donald Trump. He's actually backpedaling out of a lot of things he said during the election.
Because
my favorite one is the Hillary one, where he said, "Oh, we're gonna lock her up. I'm gonna have a special counsel to actually investigate." Mm-hmm. They asked him after the election. He said, "Oh, I really didn't think about it."
I mean, you got to think. Like, this guy's a businessman. So in business, it's the same thing as saying, "Oh, we're gonna make sure that all our chicken is 100% organic and farm raised and not slaughtered, whatever the case may be." And then
shoot them over steroid.
Yeah, and then once you start buying the food and they get what they want, then it's like, we said they were going to be raised on the farm, but they were genetically infused, and then we slaughtered them.
Yo, but we talking about Obama. I think we need to get past that because, well, he only got like a month or two left.
I mean, listen, man, I'm going to enjoy that piece of history while I can. You know what I'm saying? And I think where we at right now, to see a lot of like black people like really turning back on Obama and really spin it around like Obama was a shitty president and he wasn't this and he wasn't that.
Now they're going to have something to compare it to.
I just feel like for me that bothers me only because it's like we done stood as a nation in America with the African American community. We stood behind Bill Clinton, and Bill Clinton gave us nothing but more jail time and restructure welfare to have us where we at right now. You understand what I'm saying? We stood behind that man. You know, I really don't see any legislation or any laws or any bills passed that Obama made that has affected the African American community illy or wrongly. You know what I'm saying? It might not have been the best, but the intent and the ethic and the ethical meaning behind it was a lot. What had a strong meaning. Like Obama looked at Canada as free health care in Canada. You don't pay health insurance in Canada. He like, yo, we're the best country in the world. Why are we walking around with all these homeless people and all these people who do not have health insurance?
You don't have to pay. It's no cost for healthcare in Cuba.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
Cuba, and then the relations were just made. Like we just established more relations with Cuba now. Mm-hmm. Thankfully,
I got a question for you. So, what do you think is actually gonna? What's the effect of Trump being in the White House? Do you think it's really going to have this massive effect, or is it just going to be status quo?
This is what I think, and I'll be always honest. I compare Trump's whole mission and running for president to like the Joker in the Batman movies. You know what I'm saying? The Joker looked at Harvey Dent, told Harvey Dent, I don't have a plan. I'm not a schemer. I don't have a plan. I'm like a dog chasing cars. And I don't know what I would ever do if I caught the car, but I'm just chasing it. And so like I really think he just came into this and never really had a plan and never probably really even expected to win. And then you look up and he won and he don't have a plan. He don't know what the fuck he wants to do.
If you see the pictures after he won, he doesn't have that smug look on his face no more.
He got that look on his face.
Laughing.
Like, he's looking like
I need help.
Yeah, he's really looking like
Somebody tell me what to do.
I really just won.
Who's like these stupid ass 52 million people that voted for me?
Like imagine this man negotiating a peace treaty.
I can't see him negotiating a peace
treaty. Even although yes, he might have some of the most vast business experience known to man. Yes, he might have money on top of money on top of money that he still hasn't shown for, you know, like his tax audits have not been, I guess, cleared or whatever. But it doesn't make sense. I cannot see this man negotiating a peace treaty on behalf of the United States, on behalf of the people that he's supposed to service.
I guess my question is, when they go and they try him for fraud because he's in the process of
he's not being tried for fraud.
Why isn't he?
Well, for the Trump University?
For all of that.
Trump University, he just settled for $25 million. I think it was like yesterday.
Okay.
So he's not going to trial for that.
Okay. I guess he does need to settle those affairs because you can't be a president and you frauded the education system.
I mean, to be honest with you, the legal system is not going to let our president go through a trial. I mean, unless it's an impeachment. But
I mean, if they do go through a trial, I think an impeachment is coming right after that.
But on top of that, I think Republicans got what they wanted anyway. Of course, they didn't want at the start of it. They were backing Donald Trump. Then after all the radical things he was saying, they're like, you know what? That's not our candidate. But they put someone in a position that'll be like the backup plan if Donald Trump or when Donald Trump maybe doesn't work out. VP.
Yeah.
You know, like Republicans at the end of the day still got their man in office. That represents the entirety of what it means to be a Republican.
Well, we about to find out if they know what they're doing because they got all the control.
Agreed.
House, Senate, ridiculous.
Then no excuses now.
Yeah. I'm you know, I was real heartbroken when Donald Trump won the presidency, but now I'm just at a state with it, just like, man, life goes on, and you know, I know next time I'm still voting. Like I haven't been discouraged by the voters, and I'll be quite honest. You know, Donald Trump winning and the Republicans really doing that, like it could have been just an overall ploy to discourage the minority voter to the point where they won't vote. Like we didn't. Like I just don't think we had a lot of minority turnout this year. A lot of people was running with Bernie Sanders, and when Hillary Clinton did her magic to get him jerked over.
I mean, I think part of the problem was the media. The media pretty much were complicit in telling everybody that it's no way Hillary was going to lose.
That's
so. You know, when you do tell people they got to vote, but you have people that's like, hey, what's my one little vote going to do? She's still going to win.
And on top of that, I think it was a cheap shot by Donald Trump to bring up the email scandal again a week before people were going to the polls. So, I mean, even though she was like acquitted of all charges from the Attorney General?
What was I don't know. That whole situation, it's strange to me because she lied over and over again about it.
Yeah,
you know,
that she did.
People that have done less with classified information have gone to jail for it.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
You know, she said, well, I didn't know I could do it. Then she said, well, Colin Powell did it. I mean, it was, you know, she never really admitted to her wrongdoing. And it's not really a cheap shot if it works. It's not like he was lying about it. They were just never honest about it. If she was honest about it maybe a year ago, maybe we wouldn't have this problem.
Honestly, at this point, I don't even think it's a problem. Like, you know, Hillary Clinton just did a poor job of remaining transparent. And one thing about Democratic voters want transparency. And if it's looking like you snaking and you know what I'm saying, it's looking like you snaking and scheming and backpedaling and shucking and jiving and bullshitting.
You might as well vote for a Republican.
I mean, as much as that sound, like, I'm gonna keep all the way real. Like, if I gotta vote for leadership, and I got one guy that's telling me, listen, I really don't give a fuck about what y'all think. I'm going to be the leader and do shit my way. And then I got another leader over here like, yeah, I might have stole something. I didn't steal it. Senor Uno stole the same way, but I didn't steal, and all this fuck nigga shit. I'm not, you know, I was real reluctant to vote for Hillary, man.
Like, if you're going to do backhanded shit, at least be honest about it.
Exactly.
Real shit. Like,
it's gonna come out sooner than later.
It's gonna come out in the wash.
Like, we know you a snake. You keep looking at me telling you not a snake. You look like a fucking snake.
That's it.
And Donald was like, yeah, I'm a snake. Y'all know I'm a snake.
He said, y'all, that motherfucker said, you know why I'm here.
I grab pussy.
Yeah, he said, I'll run up on her like a bitch, grab her pussy. And everybody that heard that at the end of the day, I'm like, just keeping our way real. And I know everybody gonna be like, here go Ish for this misogynistic shit. But let's just keep it all the way real, my dudes. Don't we all want to do that? You see the chick that you like, you just want to run up on her and grab her pussy and be like, come here, man, kiss her in her fucking mouth. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump just told me, like, listen, man, I seen that little bitch, man. I ran up on her, I kissed her in her fucking mouth and grabbed her pussy. At the end of the day, yeah.
The crazy thing is he got most of the female vote too.
Yeah.
He got most of the female vote. Regardless, I'm not going to speak for all women, but I think maybe a part of the reason why maybe he received a lot of the majority of women vote is because, or maybe Caucasian women vote, is mainly because maybe those women thought that Hillary couldn't do the job right.
I'm gonna keep it already real.
They don't want to follow behind another female.
Women just don't like women.
Either that or the women just knew, like, most men want to roll up on women and grab them by the pussy.
And kiss them in their mouth. Most women want to be rolled up on and grabbed by the pussy and kissed in the mouth.
Like, you know, and then you have, on the other hand, you want to get on Trump about what he says, but we just going to disregard everything your husband do? Like, we know he grows up and grabs women by the pussy.
Yes, and
in the Oval Office.
Yes, and
under security cameras,
and sprays them with DNA on their blue dresses. Yeah, that's what he did. And we let him slide. We were still down with him. We said, "Hey,
can't have it both ways." Huh?
We said, "Hey, he's the president. He got a dick suck." Like, I'm not mad that he got a dick. Are you mad he got a dick suck?
As long as you balance the budget.
Yeah, like, what does you getting a dick suck have to do with me staying employed? Nothing. I got my
his
job.
Secret Service detail probably got a huge pay raise.
Yeah.
I say, hey, if you can fix the economy, you deserve to.
You deserve a victory dick suck fight. You know what I'm saying? If you're fixing welfare,
I'm pretty sure they're going to give you free lap dances at Onyx. You know what I mean?
If you showed up at Onyx, I know for a fact they twerking for Trump. You know what I'm saying? So
it's going to be like Players Club. They're going to turn that red light on.
And all the top strippers, they all run into the Trump section. He's going to grab us by the pussy and kiss us in the mouth. Yeah. So, I mean, some people believe we got hell coming up for the next 4 years, maybe 8. Some people believe like he might prove us all wrong.
Well, I think it's possible that, from his business background, that you might not get as many handouts, but you may get more opportunity if you actually got your shit together.
I mean, I'm cool with that, but what's the criteria for your shit together? Because what people see as handouts, sometimes the rest of us is seeing as at least a fair chance to do something good or to be in a position to make some money and do something positive with yourself. Like, he
wants to, take away some of the regulations that they put on the banks, which could be good if you're looking for a loan. It does kind of mess things up because you got predatory lending and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's the housing bubble over.
But you have to be smart enough not to fall into it. I mean, you say like the housing bubble. The housing bubble was bad for the average person, but if you were the person that can game the system,
who are the ones gaming the system?
The people with the knowledge to know how to game the system.
And those people that had that knowledge. Who do they hear? Who do they receive that knowledge from?
I mean, we could say they received it from white people, or we could say they received it from doing the proper research and getting the proper education behind it. I mean, we know African American people that play that real estate game and they play it the right way and they know how to move throughout and navigate through that system to where they're not putting themselves in crazy situations, and they can advise people who are spending money with them not to go into those crazy situations. I think when you start looking into a lot of those first-time home buyer programs or people just going out on a whim, got a good job and they like, oh, it's not a lot of money for me to pay $1,500 a month for a mortgage, and then you look up and you got $1,000 plus of bills in the house, and now you really you're working to pay bills. Some people living with outside of their means created those situations where people getting trapped in those mortgages like that.
Yeah, I was in real estate for a little bit during that time, and it used to be sad because I'm selling the house. And this person makes, $2,000 a month, and they just got approved for a loan for $1,800 a month. And it's not your job to be like, don't take this money.
Yeah, it's not.
That's what we're supposed to be about in America. The freedom to be able to make your decisions.
Yep.
And unfortunately, you can make an unwise decision. I do think there does need to be some regulation as far as having no doc mortgages. Like you can just walk in and be like, I make $5,000 a month. And you was just getting a loan on it. I think you need to have documentation. But if you want to go out and make bad decisions, why is the government here to stop you from making bad decisions? Because that's not what the government's here for.
I mean, the government is to govern. And sometimes the bad decisions of its people that put people in financial debt and put people in tough financial situations, those are things that increase crime. Bad financial situations, bad financial choices at times are the things that increase crime and increase bad things happening in the world. So you really almost thinking like, if we really wanted to fight crime and stop people from robbing, you know what I'm saying, and stop people from doing dumbass snatching grabs and robbing banks and things like that, then we put people's families in different situations to where they have the proper knowledge to make a living for themselves and maintain some of their money and maintain a well-balanced lifestyle. And if we're not doing that, then what are we governing? We're governing the people that's allowed to go out here and fuck them. And so then you wondering why people don't trust the government, people don't trust the political process, people don't trust certain things. It's because, you know, when you go in school, when you first dropped off with your kindergarten teacher, and this is the first person to ever start attempting to educate you outside of your home, you trusting that this person is teaching you the right things and governing your decision making in this classroom. And that's what that's been the expectation for people from kindergarten to the 12th grade. Once you get to college, the governance is a little bit hands off, but it's still a trust factor that when I come into your class, you're not going to teach me to do something this way. And then when I do a test or write a paper, the way you taught me you wanted it done, and I do that to a T, I follow your quote unquote rubric, and I still get an F, then how do I trust you? Because I did what you told me to do and you still gave me an F. Me following your rubric to a T should have at least got me a C. You know what I'm saying? And so we bring it back to talking about it financially, and you're just like, well, look, you're not telling me that when I invest in this or I spend this money on this, that I'm really indebting myself for way more years than what the life of this loan is saying. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm paying you back way more money than you gave me. You feel what I'm saying? You'll feel like you taking out a loan for 17 grand, but when by the end of that loan, you done paid back 25 to 26 grand. You never really taught me or told me or informed me what I'm getting myself into. And when I ask those questions, you're not answering those questions. You finding a way to dilly-dally and talk around the answer that I'm asking you for. So where's the ethical practice in this? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you pulling the wool over somebody's eyes and then saying I got to make better decisions, but I was blinded because I couldn't get the answers that I needed. But then that's how America was founded anyway, because you came over here and you shook the indigenous people hand and said, oh, we your friends, and then you turned around and killed them. And then tried to say, oh, my bad, we fucked y'all over a little bit. We'll give y'all this little piece of land.
Look at this nigga.
Look at this nigga, though.
Man, can you give Mr. Can you pour him a little bit more? Because he was all dropping knowledge on us. You know what I mean?
Real talk. Like, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? My bad, y'all. But for real, like,
you said my bad for saying some smart shit.
No,
because I just went on a rant, and I know the people that's listening to the show, they used to it flowing funny and flowing a certain type way. But this type of shit, but this type of shit bother me. And you know, as I'm getting older and I'm learning the ways of the world, and I'm learning the type of leader I want to follow and the type of leader that I want to be. You understand what I'm saying? Being transparent and being ethical and making sure that the things that you do not only serve you providing a service, but when you provide this service, how is it affecting change in the world, and how is it affecting the people you serving? If I'm providing you money on credit, but I know that I'm giving you this credit and I'm about to fuck you over and don't care that I'm fucking you over once you sign this contract, I'm just as bad as the devil who told you, yo, the devil don't really exist. Them motherfuckers lied to you. Knowing goddamn well I'm about to drag you to hell as soon as you walk off with me. That's, you know what I'm saying? And that's why we at where everything we at in America, because everybody just feel like it's okay to not inform you and then take from you. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Yeah, man, I think I'm about to end this episode because you just dropped some knowledge. I don't want to fuck it up.
I mean, it's all good. I mean, just think about it like this. Before we go, though, before we move on, I just want to remember this. Think about the law. So we had a situation that happened in Philly not too long ago where, like, and mind you, I don't condone none of this, but I'm just putting it on the table and you make your own thoughts about it. So it's a park out here in Philadelphia that they call Peanut Butter Park, where the trannies be out there dressed as women. You know what I'm saying? And they out there prostituting. Somehow or another, some man went into Peanut Butter Park not knowing that it was Peanut Butter Park and solicited a prostitute. Somehow or another found out the prostitute was really a man. Came back, robbed the prostitute for the money that he gave the prostitute, and then beat the prostitute up and killed him. You understand what I'm saying? And now that guy's probably going to go to jail for life for murder. The murder part, I understand. But what if, just for the sake of being ethical, the tranny said, you know I'm a man, though.
Wow.
I mean,
then the whole idea of being transparent, it doesn't become a factor now. It's like you already know what you're getting into.
You know what you're buying. If you came here for boy pussy, that's what they selling.
I'm not. Maybe the transsexual, because I don't want to get us in trouble. LGBT community is real hard.
But I'm thinking,
maybe they were just so nonchalant, and it was like everybody knows that.
No, you can't say everybody knows. You can't say everybody knows.
Well, maybe that was the assumption.
And yeah, but you see how assumptions play out.
Maybe
Two lives are gone.
True.
You understand what I'm saying?
Probably what happened was he probably went back and told somebody where he went, and he got some head. And then somebody was like,
yeah. you know that those is men. Oh shit, we going back. No, you bet not tell nobody this happened. And he went back there and he did that bullshit and got caught.
He should have just got that training and just kept his mouth shut.
Like, I just feel like transparency in the world.
So to bring it back to,
I mean, but but transparency in politics, transparency in the way we do business in America is everything. And I really think that the real reason Trump won was because he was just real transparent.
So for the next 4 years, people need to get their shit together.
I'm going to count down to the 2020 election.
Already.
Count down to 2020.
All right. So that's where I'm at with that. Everybody that listened, please give us some feedback on how you feel about everything. If we said some information that y'all think is wrong, call us out on it in the comments. Call us out on it. Let's have a discussion about it. For everybody that's dealing with these next 4 years with President-elect Donald Dickhead Trump, good luck, man. You know what I'm saying?
He's my president. I have to uphold the office of the president.
He ain't my president just yet.
I mean, I'm going to keep it real. As much as it motherfucking hurts my soul to say it, that's my president.
So is it wrong to look at like naked pictures of the first lady?
That's her fault. That's her.
She was informed by Hugh Hefner that these pictures would go into circulation in the magazine.
And guess who was transparent? Hugh Hefner.
All right, let's end on that, man.
All right,
Make sure y'all visit StayTalkingIsh.com.
Yeah.
Stay Talking Ish on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Stay Talking Ish on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
Facebook too.
Yeah. And just understand this. I'm telling you, Stay Talking Ish podcast team, man. We got some listen, man. Yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all on the next episode. Peace.